Via Twitter, by Bleacher Report, they have released their all-time player rankings of the NBA's top 50 greatest players of all time. What I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to dissect this top 50 list in a two-part series. I hope you guys enjoy it. And basically, it will go down from I'm going to break it down from 50 to 26, and I go from 25 to 1 right here on your favorite channel and mine, as always, while I'm having some lunch on the Lewis Basketball, Football, Baseball, Wrestling Network News. Let's get it. Wow. Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Lewis, and I am back once again with another banger, with yet another heavy hitter, with yet another video. You guys already know the deal, man. I appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like the video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to share the video. Make sure to comment down below. I truly appreciate it. Make sure that your notifications are turned on to keep receiving the latest content from me. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said already in the intro, I am going to break down this Bleacher Report's all-time player rankings according to them. And I already feel that there's going to be certain biases when it comes to this list, because that's what this is at the end of the day, because that is their personal list on who they think is the greatest player of all time and where players rank in NBA history. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a two-part series, the beginning of a two-part series, and I'm starting with 50 to 25, and then I'm going to go from 25 to 1, okay? As I already know, as we do right here, man, we tell nothing but facts. So let's go down the list. So, so it already says a total of 4,374 players have appeared in at least one NBA game. How many can anyone whittle that number down to the top 50? And let me just say this, man. If you're a top 50 player in NBA history, that to me should be a compliment. It means out of 4,374 players, you're one of a select few to be among the greatest of all time. I mean, that says a lot about your basketball career. Are you the greatest? Maybe, possibly not in terms of where you've been ranked, because this is all subjective. That's why I get mad when people are hating on Kobe, people hating on LeBron, people are hating on Michael Jordan. We could break it down, but at the end of the day, it's your personal opinion. That's why when people say that LeBron is universally regarded as a top 5 player, that's not true. There's certain people who have him top 5, but not everybody has him top 5. Or when people say Kobe Bryant is the greatest player of all time, that's their opinion. But that doesn't mean that Kobe Bryant really is the greatest of all time, because people are going to feel differently. And a lot of it is due to their fan bases, okay? And then with Michael Jordan, he's universally regarded as the greatest player of all time, while there's some all-time greats who don't believe so. And there's also people who are not fans of Jordan who will say he's not the greatest. So it really depends. I mean, and then you have to count in the fact that there were different eras, different styles of play. I mean, all of that comes into account. And then you have to account accolades. You have to account individual awards, how their impact on the team was, and then basically how many championships and finals MVPs did they win? Were they the best player not only in the season but in the postseason? So all that plays a factor. The problem is that fans tend to move the goalposts when it comes to a player that they like and then a player that they're up against. So you really got to use context, ladies and gentlemen. And I mention that word all the time, context. You have to use context. So without further ado, I'm not going to get into this laissez-faire all reading. We're just going to go right into the top 50. So let's go. We'll start with the honorable mentions. We have Alvin Adams. I don't know who that is. I never saw him play. LaMarcus Aldridge. Carmelo Anthony doesn't make the top 50. Interesting. Paul Arizin. I know who Paul Arizin is. I saw him play a little bit in terms of highlights. Chauncey Billups, one of the more underrated leaders in NBA history. Chris Bosh, Elton Brand, Jimmy Butler, Vince Carter, Dave Cowens, Anthony Davis, Vlade Divac. Here's the thing: what I have with Anthony Davis and some of these new guys, they haven't finished their careers yet. Let them finish their careers to see where they belong. Okay. Henry Galadin, Marc Gasol, Artis Gilmore, Blake Griffin, Cliff Hagan, Grant Hill, Al Horford, Jeff Hornacek, Bailey Howell, Allen Iverson, Kevin Johnson, Marquez Johnson, Neil Johnson, Bobby Jones, Sam Jones, Andre Kirilenko, Bob Lanier, Damian Lillard, Clyde Lovett, Kevin Love, Kyle Lowry, Jerry Lucas, Ed McCauley, Pete Maravich, Sean Marion, Bob McAdoo, Tracy McGrady, George Mikan, Vern McKelson, Paul Millsap, Sidney Moncrief, Alonzo Mourning, Chris Mullin, Dikembe Mutombo, Robert Parrish, Tony Parker. Robert Parrish, for me, should be in the top 50. That makes no damn sense. He really should be in the top 50. Tony Parker, you can make a case he should be there. Same thing with Gary Payton. Willis Reed, Bob Lanier, Dennis Rodman, Arvydas Sabonis, Bill Sharman, Jack Sigma, Nate Thurman, Wes Unseld, Chris Webber, and Dominique Wilkins. So those are the argument for those guys who got honorable mentions. Let's start with number 50. Rick Barry. Not going to get into that. I'm just looking at the top 50. Elvin Hayes, Hall of Famer. Rick Barry's in the Hall of Fame. Rick Barry was not known as the greatest teammate in the world. Walt Clyde Frazier, the smooth Clyde Frazier. Number 47, Isaiah Thomas. I don't agree with this one at all because Isaiah Thomas should be way higher than 47. That, to me, is very disrespectful to one of the more underrated leaders in NBA history. And in my opinion, the second greatest point guard behind Magic Johnson. He changed the paradigm for a Detroit team that had their center shooting threes in Bill Laimbeer, their three-guard set when Vinnie Johnson, Joe Dumars, and him will be in the game. This guy's a former Finals MVP. And this guy was the first little man to win an NBA championship. He changed the paradigm. Kenny Smith said it on Open Court. It was to the point that, you had to even get three guards to compete for a title when Detroit, in their little mini run of 2 straight championships and 3 straight finals appearances and 5 straight Eastern Conference finals appearances. I don't agree with Isaiah being at 47. That's way too low for him, in my opinion. See, look, they're talking about the point guard was never particularly efficient. Wow. And it's funny. Some people say that Isaiah was never this great defender, but they say his defensive leadership. See, that's the problem. People are nitpicking. Isaiah should be way higher on this list. He's one of the most impactful players in NBA history. One of the most underrated impactful players in NBA history. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys who are inefficient in NBA history, but you're telling me that a lot of these guys are better than Isaiah Thomas? Congratulations to Paul Gasol. Made the top 50. I already know what Kobe Bryant haters are going to say. You see? Kobe played with 2 top 50 players in NBA history. See? I told y'all, this list is subjective, so we don't know that for sure. Shaq, for sure, is a top 10 player. At least in my opinion. That's the thing, man. Accolades are really put you high on this list, not just your individual numbers. George the Iceman Gervin, one of my favorite players to watch, man. That dude was so smooth. Doesn't get enough credit, man. One of the more underrated players in history. Ray Allen. I get mad about Ray Allen. People have said that this guy is such a much more better shooter than Kobe Bryant, but Ray Allen, like Kobe Bryant, has never shot 50% in his career for a season. There were times where Ray Allen was treading to shooting 50%, but he didn't end up shooting 50%. As a matter of fact, when we look at Ray Allen's career field goal percentage, he only shoots 45%. Kobe's at 44.7. Think about this, guys. Ray Allen, one of the greatest shooters in NBA history, definitely one of the greatest three-point shooters in history. Him and Kobe playing around the same time. And Kobe is more close on more shot attempts than Ray Allen. Think about that for a second. Ray Allen is the greatest shooter of all time, considered by many up until Steph Curry game, at least three-point shooter or whatever it is, greatest three-point shooter, greatest shooter. But Kobe Bryant is 44.7, but that's because his last 2 years really hurt him in terms of field goal percentage. He was never the same player. But in Kobe's prime, he's above 45%, slightly above 45%. So if Ray Allen is such a much greater shooter than Kobe Bryant, why is Ray Allen's career field goal percentage at 45%? That's saying a lot. He's only half a percent less than Ray Allen. Number one, that's not even drastic. And if you round up the numbers, Kobe's 45%. I just find that so funny. And look up the numbers too. Ray Allen is a career 45.2% shooter. For a guy who's supposed to be the greatest shooter of all time, he should be around 48% at the very least. Reggie Miller. Does Reggie Miller belong in the top 50? He's 43. I'm surprised he's above Ray Allen. I feel like Ray Allen, to me, should be above Reggie Miller. He had more consistent scoring seasons. Besides, Ray Allen made 10 All-Star teams. Reggie Miller made 5. I don't get that one. This is why, to me, Reggie Miller was a better playoff scorer than regular season scorer. Okay, I don't agree with this one. Kawhi Leonard cannot be top 50. This dude has a very incomplete career. He should be out of the top 50. This is no disrespect because the thing is you can climb up on the list once you have a more set with your career. I just don't think he's top 50. Paul Pierce, for sure, he definitely is a top 50 player. That's correct. Adrian Dantley, yes. This is going to be very biased. I'm only doing, ladies and gentlemen, from from 50 to 26. Bill Walton. Yo, he definitely probably would have been a top 25, top 20 player to me had he not had injuries. That's too many. 30 operations is a lot. Patrick Ewing is, wow, interesting. 21 points, 9 rebounds, 2.4 blocks. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. He averaged one steal per game as a center for his career. That's impressive for me. Manu Ginobili at 37. I feel like that's a little high for me. Great player, great player. I mean, I know he has his FIBAs, his gold medal with Argentina in 04. Russell Westbrook. I feel like Westbrook has not done enough for me to say that he is a top 50 player. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. No, that's wrong. Russell can be top 50, but I feel like he should be anywhere from 40 to 50. I don't think he can be this high. Steve Nash definitely deserves to be in the top 35. One of the more impactful point guards of his time. Kevin McHale. I mean, we could say what we think about that one. Jason Kidd at 33. You know? Clyde Drexler at 32. This is very interesting. Dolph Schayes, great player. Bob Pettit, one of the most slept-on players in NBA history. Wow, John Stockton makes the top 30. What do you guys think? Do you think John Stockton is top 30 or should he be more down on the list? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Chris Paul. That's interesting. Chris Paul at 28. James Harden at 27. He should not be this high. No way, no how. With all due respect, Harden should be anywhere from 30 to 40. John Havlicek, 26. And he will be the last one. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'm going to end the video right here. Stay tuned for part 2. Check out part 2, you guys, as I go down from 25 to 1, where I give a little more in-depth analysis on that one. So take care and just tune in and just go right to part 2, man.